Hello and welcome back. In the previous videos, we explored how to create skills, manage them globally or inside workspaces and publish them for reuse. Now, we move into something even more powerful, skill chaining. Instead of using one skill at a time, we can combine multiple skills into a connected workflow, where one output naturally becomes the next input. By the end of this video, you will understand how chaining works, the three main design patterns, and how to avoid common failures. Let's begin with the core idea. Skill chaining means using a single prompt to run multiple skills in sequence. Without chaining, you usually run one skill, review the result, copy the output, paste it into another task, and repeat the process manually. With chaining, Cowork handles that entirely handoff automatically. Think of it like an assembly line. Each skill performs one job and the work moves smoothly from one step to the next. So, how does Cowork actually make this possible? When skill A finishes, its output remains inside the active context window. That means skill B can immediately access what skill A just created. Your role is to clearly define what should be passed forward. And remember, the most important rule of chaining, the output of one skill should match the expected input of the next skill. A good chaining prompt usually has three parts. First, clearly state which skill should run and in what order. Second, define the handoff condition, what exactly should move from the first skill into the next one. And third, define the final output. For example, run inbox triage first, pass urgent emails into draft reply, then save all responses into one document. The first and common pattern is the sequential chain. This means skill run in a fixed order, one after another. For example, first clean the raw data, then calculate KPIs, and then generate the final report. This model works best when each step depends on the previous one. It is also the easiest to debug because if something breaks, you know exactly where it happened. The second model is the conditional chain. Here, the next skill depends on a decision. For example, after triaging emails, urgent messages go to draft reply, routine messages go to standard reply, and FYI messages go to archive. This approach is efficient because only the required skills are triggered, but it depends on accurate classification at the first step. The third model is the parallel chain. Multiple skills run on the same input at the same time, and their outputs are merged later. Imagine reviewing a contract. One skill checks the legal and another identifies deadlines, all simultaneously. This can save time, especially when tasks are independent of each other. Let's move away from content generation. Let's build something closer to a real system. Imagine you are building an AI hiring assistant. Every time a resume comes in, the system should analyze the candidates, score them, decide if they are a good fit, and generate recruiter feedback. And all of this should happen automatically. We will break this into three skills: resume analyzer, candidate scorer, and decision generator. So for that, let's go to our Claude app. You can see on the screen how the three skills has been created. Claude Cowork ran its own test on these three created skills. Some resumes were created with job descriptions, and then those resumes were tested based on the description with skills and without skills. You can see the comparison that Claude Cowork generated over here. And if you want, you can go to these created skills and look at the files it created. The description of the resume analyzer, when to use, the workflow, the text extraction, everything is according to what we prompted. Now, the most important part is to save those skills. I'll just save the skills over here. If you want, you can go to these manage buttons and see the generated skills over here. You can see the trigger command, the / command plus auto. So let's connect these three skills together now. This is not just multiple tasks. This is structured flow, data passing, and dependency between steps. You can see in step 1 how we are asking to run resume analyzer on input resume. Then the step 2, pass extracted data to candidate scorer, pass score to decision generator. After that, the final output I want is the candidate summary, score out of 10, then the decision whether it is hired or rejected with a proper reasoning. So these were some resumes that Claude Cowork generated. So I'll just select one of them. Then I'll select the job description. Now, logically, these resumes should be sent to the resume analyzer. After that, the resume and the job description will be sent to the candidate scorer, and then the step 3. Now observe. Step 1, extract structured info. Step 2, and then step 3 makes a decision. No manual intervention. You can see the resume analysis. Raj Patel, who is a rising CA senior at this college, and has 1 year of real work experience between a Bright Bite internship and an ongoing TA role. You can see the strengths and the experience that the person has. So, the first step has been completed. Now it is moving to the step 2. This system works only because of one thing, clean handoffs. You can see the output of step 1 will be handed off to the step 2. Each skill expects a specific input. If skill 1 outputs a messy data, skill 2 fails. So, output format is always equal to next input format. Now you can see the step 2 output has been generated. The score is 7.8 out of 10. Now this output becomes the input of the step 3. You can see on my screen how the three skills have been connected together. Not only it is analyzing the resume but checking whether that person is suitable for the job description that we gave or not. After that, it is making a decision whether that person should be hired or rejected with particular reasoning. You can also extend this system by putting like from resume analysis run in parallel, like generate interview questions, identify the skill gaps and merge into the final output. Now let's step back. We did not just change skills, we built a decision engine. A system that analyzes, evaluates, decides and generates outputs automatically. Think about your workflows. Where do you analyze data, make decisions and generate outputs? All of those can become skill chains. To summarize, skill chaining allows you to connect logic, automate decisions, and build real systems. You are not chaining prompts, you are building intelligence. Skill chaining is powerful, but there are common mistakes to watch for. Sometimes the output of one skill does not match what the next skill expects. Sometimes triggers overlap and multiple skills activate unexpectedly. Sometimes the handoff is too vague or there is no logic for empty results. The solution is simple. Use structured outputs, clear triggers, precise handoff instructions, and fallback rules. Now, let's quickly recap what we learned. A skill chain is one prompt that triggers multiple skills in a connected workflow. The most important principle is clean handoff. The output of one skill should fit the next skill naturally. You now know three powerful patterns: sequential, conditional, and parallel. And with thoughtful design, skill chaining can turn simple automations into complete systems. That's everything for this video. You now understand how skill chaining works, how to write chaining prompts, and how to design workflows using multiple skills together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.